The Avengers Council erupted in chaos as Thor dropped his hammer. And his secret. Iron Man froze. You gave them our coordinates. Above Earth, alien lords pierced the skies with warships shaped like gods. Captain Marvel vanished in a blinding flash, her last words, "Thor, why?" And from the rubble, Hulk emerged bloodied, betrayed, and unstoppable. The Avengers Council chamber, deep beneath the shattered ruins of old Wakanda, glowed with unstable energy. Holograms buzzed, the air humming with tension. Around the obsidian table stood Earth's last line of defense. Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, and Rocket. Thor looked like a ghost of himself, armor scorched, hammer dragging across the floor. His voice cracked. "They're coming. And it's my fault." Iron Man's faceplate slid open. "You've got 10 seconds to explain." Thor dropped Mjolnir with a thud that made the walls tremble. "Before the fall of Asgard, I struck a deal with the alien lords." The room went still. Even Hulk, pacing in the shadows, paused. "What kind of deal?" asked T'Challa, arms crossed. Thor's eyes gleamed. "To spare what was left of Asgard, I gave them Earth's quantum signature, so they'd never return. But they did, and now they've evolved." Rocket cursed. "You gave them the damn key." A piercing alarm shattered the moment. Dozens of projections flickered across the chamber, Earth's satellites, all offline. Then came the live feed. 5 monolithic ships blotting out the sun, shaped like intergalactic titans. One pulsed with a black hole core. Another bristled with bone-like spires. A mechanical voice rang out from the ceiling. "Orbital breach. Quantum shields compromised. Invasion imminent." Captain Marvel shot into the air. "I'll intercept." "No," yelled Strange. "They're scanning consciousness. Even thinking of them pulls them closer." But she was gone, a comet of energy piercing the sky. "Carol, wait." Tony shouted, but it was too late. A flash of light. Then silence. Her signal vanished. Hulk roared and smashed the edge of the table, cracking it in half. "She's gone." Thor looked down, fists clenched. "There, leader." "Kael'Zor, he promised peace." "You trusted a warlord who eats stars?" snapped Rocket. T'Challa stepped forward. "This council was formed to prevent Earth's destruction. Instead, we've been infiltrated from the inside." "You think I'm a traitor?" Thor's voice thundered, sparks rising from his skin. Strange lifted a hand. "Enough. Whether betrayal or mistake, the lords are here now. We must focus." Iron Man tapped a panel on his wrist. "Jarvis, initiate Omega Protocol. Send alerts to all factions. Mutants, Eternals, Defenders, X-Men. Global mobilization." Hulk's breathing intensified. "If they killed Carol, they'll pay." Suddenly, the floor cracked open beneath them. A massive drill pierced the chamber, not steel, but obsidian alloy, pulsing with alien glyphs. From within it emerged 5 beings, translucent skin, glowing veins, no mouths, just vibrating energy cores. "Kael'Zor's envoys," said Thor grimly. "They didn't speak. They broadcast." A wave of thoughts flooded the minds of the Avengers. Visions of Earth drowning in cosmic storms, oceans boiling, cities collapsing into wormholes. One message stood out: kneel or be unmade. Iron Man launched the first strike, a chest beam strong enough to obliterate a mountain. It passed through the envoy like light through smoke. Rocket's blaster roared. T'Challa dove in with vibranium claws. Strange summoned crimson bands of Sidorak. Hulk leapt, fists raised. Nothing worked. The envoys phased, flickered, and then retaliated. A shockwave exploded through the chamber. Hulk was flung across the room. Iron Man's suit shut down midair. Rocket's arm cracked in a twist of sparks. Even Strange was pinned mid-spell, suspended like a fly in amber. Thor grabbed Mjolnir and summoned a bolt of divine lightning. Enough. The bolt struck, and for a moment, the room filled with light. One envoy screeched and vanished. The others turned and retreated, melting back into the drill. The room fell into silence, smoke rising. Hulk rose slowly, blood dripping from a cut above his eye. He hadn't bled in years. Iron Man limped over, removing his helmet. "They were just scouts." "They came for a message," muttered T'Challa. And we got it, said Rocket, clutching his shattered blaster. We're screwed. Thor staggered back. Kael'Zor will not stop. Strange looked up, eyes glowing. He seeks the Nexus heart, and Earth is sitting on it. The what now? Said Tony. The very center of the multiverse, Strange said. It lies buried beneath Earth's crust, locked by ancient spells. That's what drew them here. Not Earth, it. A loud crack echoed through the chamber. All heads turned. Hulk stood in the center of the room, trembling. But it wasn't rage. It was pain. I felt Carol die. He looked at Thor. You gave them the key. Thor stepped back. You don't understand. Hulk's body swelled. His skin rippled with gamma cracks, glowing red. I trusted you. The ground beneath Hulk's feet splintered. This council protected secrets. But now we bury lies. His eyes locked onto Thor. I'll find Kael'Zor, and I'll rip his empire apart. Thor whispered, Bruce, don't. But it was too late. With an earth-shattering roar, Hulk launched himself into the drill's tunnel, chasing the envoys back into the alien core that had pierced the planet. Silence. Then Iron Man exhaled. We just lost our strongest weapon. Dr. Strange's cape curled inwards. No. We just unleashed it. The tunnel Hulk dove into was not made of stone, metal, or anything known to Earth. It pulsed, living and breathing like a vein in the skin of the planet, winding downward into impossible geometries. The deeper he fell, the heavier the air became, thick with alien particles that reacted to his presence. Hulk didn't care. Rage was his oxygen now. The tunnel opened into a vast underground biome, glowing with eerie blue and violet hues. Monolithic columns hovered mid-air, humming in rhythm with the seismic pulse of the Earth itself. Above it all floated a throne of shifting crystal, and seated on it, Kael'Zor. The alien lord was tall, serpentine, with a face that shimmered between dimensions. His body bent light itself, his voice neither spoken nor heard, but felt in the marrow. You are not welcome here, beast of Earth. Hulk landed with such force that the biome cracked beneath his feet. You killed her. Kael'Zor didn't move. She chose defiance. Like you. Hulk's fists clenched. I'm not here to talk. The alien lord raised one hand. From behind, dozens of phantoms emerged, spectral warriors, shaped from ancient galaxies, built from antimatter and memory. Their eyes burned like twin suns. Hulk bellowed and charged. The first wave hit him like a tsunami of razor-sharp wind and gravitational force. Hulk smashed one. It exploded into black dust. Another pierced his side. He roared in pain, then grabbed its arm and tore it in half. One by one, he broke them. But they kept coming. Above, Kael'Zor's throne began to rise. Elsewhere on the surface, the Avengers were splitting at the seams. Thor stood on the balcony of the council tower, staring into the sky as alien ships formed rings in the clouds, pulling energy from the stratosphere. I must face him, Thor said, voice heavy with guilt. You've done enough, snapped Rocket, still clutching his broken blaster. Dr. Strange floated nearby, eyes closed in a trance. He's in the Nexus biome, but not alone. Hulk has reached Kael'Zor. That's suicide, said Iron Man. He won't survive long against their war priest alone. Chala activated his armor. Then we go. Now. No, Strange said, opening his eyes. We'll never reach him in time. Unless. He floated toward a locked chamber deep within the tower, one that had remained sealed since the last multiversal crisis. The others followed. Inside was an ancient relic, the Mirror Gate. Last time we used this, we almost broke reality, Tony muttered. We don't need reality, Strange said, drawing glowing glyphs. We need speed. The Mirror Gate shimmered and tore open a direct path, not through space, but through consequence. Time folded. The path would take them to Hulk, but the cost was unknown. Make your choice, said Strange. One by one, they stepped through. In the Nexus biome, Hulk was bleeding. His fists cracked, bones exposed under green skin torn open by cosmic weapons. He had taken down dozens of phantoms, but they never ended. For every one he smashed, two more took its place. He dropped to one knee. Kael'Zor floated above him, voice like thunder underwater. You fight like a god. But you are no god. Hulk looked up, smiling through blood. No god. Just angry. He punched the ground. The biome quaked. The pulse of the earth twisted. Kale-Zor floated back, surprised. For the first time, something was wrong. And then, the mirror gate exploded open beside them. Thor, Iron Man, T'Challa rocket, and Strange burst into the battlefield. Iron Man fired EMP warheads that split the Phantom lines. Black Panther leapt across magnetic currents, claws slicing energy limbs. Rocket reprogrammed a fallen Phantom's core, turning it into a bomb. Thor struck lightning across the battlefield like a storm of vengeance. Strange hovered in midair, weaving protective spells around Hulk, slowing his blood loss, fueling his strength. Hulk stood again. Thor landed next to him. You shouldn't have come alone. You shouldn't have betrayed us. Thor didn't flinch. Then let me earn it back. The two leapt together, Hulk tearing through the front line, Thor unleashing thunder so violent it shattered floating columns. Kale-Zor descended now. His throne vanished into stardust. He grew larger, taller, darker. 6 arms extended from his back. His body twisted into a form Earth could barely process. You challenge me in my own realm, he boomed. Strange spoke the spell of binding. We challenge your rule of terror. The final battle had begun. Kale-Zor released a gravitational burst that bent light into deadly spears. One tore through Iron Man's left repulsor. Another sent rocket flying. Thor countered with a god blast, pure divine energy focused into a single beam. It collided with Kale-Zor's chest, making him stagger. Hulk climbed a broken spire and leapt 2 miles into the air, then crashed down onto Kale-Zor's back. The impact caused a rip in space-time. The biome began collapsing. Strange yelled over the chaos. He's linked to the Nexus core. We destroy him, we destabilize Earth itself. Iron Man cursed. So what do? Strange hesitated, then made a terrifying choice. He drew the forbidden sigil from the Book of Ashanti. We sever him. Not kill, disconnect. As Kale-Zor roared, Strange whispered the final incantation. Runes appeared around the alien lord, pulsing faster, brighter, until they locked in place like a cage of fire. Kale-Zor screamed. His body flickered between forms, giant serpent, collapsing star, screaming man, until the connection to the core snapped. A shockwave exploded outward. Everyone was thrown. When the light faded, Kale-Zor was gone. But so was the biome. And so was the Nexus gate. They had won. But the price was still falling. Far above, the alien fleet broke formation. Ships began to flee. On the floor of the collapsed chamber, Hulk lay motionless. Thor knelt beside him. Bruce. No movement. Then a hand moved. And a whisper, barely audible. Not angry anymore. A week passed. The skies above Earth were scarred. Purple lightning veined through permanent storm clouds. Remnants of the energy burst that severed Kale-Zor's link to the Nexus heart. All around the globe, recovery efforts surged. But beneath the surface, the wounds were deeper. In a classified healing chamber inside New Asgard's mountain vaults, Hulk lay dormant, suspended in a gamma-stasis field designed by both Stark Tech and Wakanda Science. Bruce Banner's vitals flickered low, but stable. Beside him, Thor kept watch. He saved us all, said T'Challa, entering quietly. Thor didn't look up. And I almost doomed us all. From a dark corner, Rocket chimed in, voice hoarse. You got a real talent for understatement. Dr. Strange appeared through a portal, sweat beading his brow. I've traced Kale-Zor's energy signature. He's not dead, just displaced. Where? Asked Thor, rising. Not where. When? Strange stared into the portal. He's fled across timelines. He's building something. What could be worse than an empire of galaxy killers? Rocket asked. Strange hesitated. A version of himself who never needed to make deals. Thor gripped Mjolnir tightly. Then we finish this. Back at the remnants of the Avengers Council Chamber, Iron Man floated above Earth, overseeing Stark satellites redeploying new defensive nodes. This isn't over, he muttered. We stalled a god. We didn't stop him. Friday buzzed in his earpiece. Sir, anomaly detected in the Indian Ocean. You'll want to see this. A new wormhole had torn open, but not from above, from below the sea. Rising through the water was an alien structure, ancient and mechanical, shaped like a spine curled around a core reactor. Tell me that's not another Nexus gate, said Tony. No, sir. This one's older. He flew down instantly. As his armor scanned the structure, his faceplate opened in disbelief. This thing predates Earth's crust. We built our world on top of it. Inside the control chamber, strange writing appeared. Project Origin. Final Wake Protocol engaged. Thor arrived moments later via the Bifrost. What did you find? A failsafe, Tony said. Or a grave. Either way, it's waking up. Suddenly, Strange opened a portal beside them, panic in his eyes. He's already manipulating the time stream. If we don't collapse the loop, he'll rewrite Earth into a throne. But Hulk destroyed the tether, said Rocket, appearing on Thor's shoulder. He did, Strange replied, but Kale-Zor adapted. He's not trying to breach Earth anymore. He's trying to replace it. Replace it with what? Asked Thor. Another version, said Strange grimly. One where he already won. They stood in silence, absorbing the scope of it. Then Friday interrupted. Sir, Bruce Banner is awake. In New Asgard, Hulk sat up slowly, his green skin dimmed, but his eyes alert. I felt it, he said quietly. The shift. He's merging timelines. Strange nodded. We need you again. Bruce turned to Thor. Will you betray us again? Thor didn't answer right away. Then he stepped forward, extended Mjolnir, and knelt. If I do, and me. Bruce stared at him. After a moment, he nodded. Then let's break time before he breaks us. They assembled one last time. Thor, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Rocket, Hulk, and Black Panther. No flags. No press. Just survival. Strange opened a final portal, not to a place, but a collapsing timeline. Inside it, Earth twisted in reverse, cities crumbling back into jungle, oceans evaporating upward. In the center of it all stood Kale-Zor, reborn, taller, stronger, no longer alien, but something closer to divine. He turned. You followed me into my future, then die in your past. The collapsing timeline they entered didn't resemble Earth anymore. Mountains floated upside down. Oceans pulsed in the sky like suspended hearts. Cities reversed their own construction in loops, buildings rising and crumbling repeatedly. It was chaos made flesh. Kale-Zor hovered at the center of it all, surrounded by dozens of versions of himself, each one pulled from a timeline he had conquered, merged into a multiversal hive. Welcome, he said, to the Age of Kale. Iron Man fired first. A full-spectrum arc blast lanced through one of the Kale echoes, disintegrating it, only for two more to form. Strange floated upward, casting a spiraling rune of binding around the battlefield. We need to anchor this space. If we don't isolate the core version, we'll drown in infinite duplicates. Thor and Hulk charged forward, shoulder to shoulder. Hulk smashed into a Kale armored in molten silver. The echo shattered like glass. Thor's lightning lanced through three more, each burst briefly, lighting up the fractured sky. Chala vanished into the shadows, using quantum phase tech to ambush versions of Kale manipulating gravity. With every strike, a new rift opened. The timeline further destabilized. We're not winning. Rocket shouted from atop a levitating chunk of Earth. We're just trimming clones. Strange's eyes turned pitch black. We're buying time. Then he closed his hands together and chanted a forbidden incantation. A burst of light exploded from the runes, revealing the true Kale-Zor. Larger than the rest, eyes like collapsing galaxies, heart exposed in his chest like a pulsing black star. There you are, Hulk growled. He sprinted. Kale-Zor summoned a shield of anti-time. Every step Hulk took happened twice, then reversed, slowing his charge. But Hulk pushed through it, skin tearing, body warping in flickers of past and future. Thor hurled Mjolnir. It struck Kale's chest and exploded with the power of a dying sun. The alien lord staggered. Iron Man launched a singularity core. Black Panther stabbed with a blade dipped in chronoblood. Rocket dropped a warhead he swore he'd stolen from Galactus. Strange sealed the sky with a dome of anchor time. Hulk reached Kale-Zor and punched, not with strength, but with memory. All of Hulk's rage, all of Banner's pain, the guilt, the betrayal, the sacrifice. The roar wasn't just anger, it was release. The punch connected. Kale-Zor's chest shattered. All the echoes screamed in unison and burst into dust. The timeline shook, then began to seal. Oceans returned to their place. Buildings froze. Gravity stabilized. Kale-Zor fell. Strange landed beside him, his hands trembling. This fragment of time is sealing shut. We have seconds. Iron Man opened a portal. Move. Now. Everyone sprinted through, one by one. Hulk turned last, looking down at Kale's broken body. Thor called out, "Come on." Hulk didn't move. Then Kale-Zor whispered, "You'll never be free." Hulk's eyes narrowed. Then he grabbed Kale's body, hoisted it onto his back. "Then I'll bury you in the time you wanted to steal." He dove into the collapsing core just as the portal shut. The timeline sealed shut with a thunderclap. Back in their original dimension, the sky was calm for the first time in weeks. The alien rings above Earth dissolved into harmless particles, and silence returned, unnerving and incomplete. Inside New Asgard's emergency war room, the surviving Avengers stood in a line. No one spoke. The portal had closed. Hulk didn't return. Thor stared into the rippling remnants of the temporal fold, fists clenched. He had betrayed them once. Bruce had forgiven him, and now, once again, Bruce was gone. "He saved us all again," said Rocket softly. But this time he didn't get out. Doctor Strange floated near the ceiling, deep in concentration. "He's not dead. He's beyond us, carrying Kale-Zor's energy core into a space where time can't restart. A prison of living rage." "We have to find him," said Thor. "No," Strange said. "If we bring him back, Kale comes too." Bruce made the call. Iron Man turned away, voice low. This isn't how it was supposed to end. 2 days later, a statue was raised in Wakanda's Unity Square, a massive bronze figure of Hulk, mid-roar, both fists breaking through chains that glowed under moonlight. Below it, the names of every city saved from annihilation. Thor placed Mjolnir at the statue's feet and walked away without it. That night, far beyond space, beyond any known timeline, in a void where no stars burned, Hulk opened his eyes. He sat on the edge of nothing. Kale-Zor's flickering remained sealed in an endless temporal loop nearby. Hulk's skin no longer glowed. He was calm. And for the first time in his life, he was truly alone. Behind him, the air shimmered. A soft voice spoke. "I thought I'd find you here." He turned. It was Captain Marvel. Not from his Earth. Not from his time. But from one of the others he had saved. She smiled. "You're not done yet,"